The Cardinals got bad news. I'm serious too.
I hear you. Yeah,
it's very easy.
I know.
The waterworks for me are they this time of year they flow more quickly and freely than any other time. All right, Kyler Murray torn ACL out for the remainder of the season. It's highly unfortunate. We've seen it happen time and again. We see it happen almost every week. And we don't know if he had some prior injury to the knee and the non-contact. He puts so much force and power into his movements. It's so sudden. It's so fast, and that's what gives me so much concern about his rehab and recovery.
Sure,
this is a guy who needs that ACL to be 100%, and we've seen guys like Odell Beckham, the most recent example, the most recent data point. He's had 2 now, same knee. First time it took 11 months. Here we are in mid-December, 10 months away from when he tore it the second time, and no indication he's ready to go. I just really wonder what kind of impact this is going to have on the Cardinals. We talked about it yesterday into 2023. They better be ready at quarterback with an alternative to Kyler Murray. They better spend some cash and cap dollars. It's a low cap figure next year for Kyler Murray. It's just about $16 million, which is very good for the Cardinals. They could budget some other cash for a quarterback who can be the bridge to Kyler Murray being healthy again whenever that may be. They need to have that plan ready to go, Chris.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They have to. You got to protect yourself, insurance policy. Regardless, you want somebody that can run your practices at a high level in spring, OTAs there. And you got to plan for, what if we have a setback with the knee or, something there that we didn't foresee happening. Now we got to kick the can down the road. Now he can't play till week 6. So that they have to address all contingency plans. And it is going to be interesting. The one thing I always think about, and, you heard Cliff Kingsbury talk about it, and, heard about it after the game. The night of the game, he's talking about, man, I'd never seen him like that. And then there's the day after the game, and he goes into deeper detail about, he talked to him on the phone that night, and they had a lot of heart-to-heart conversations. I got to think, my experience around the NFL is it's a heartbreaking situation, and it becomes more heartbreaking for guys like Odell Beckham Jr. and Kyler Murray sometimes, because it's like they've been the freaks of freaks. There's nothing their bodies have never been able to not accomplish. Well, I've always been able to just cut and jump and spin around, and I'm fine. I'm Kyler Murray. I'm the man. Everybody's known that since 9th grade when I was in high school. So there's that first initial shock of like, man, my body failed me for the first time in my life. I thought I was kind of God's gift to the world as an athlete. And now, you have to fight through the adversity of getting back healthy, and you're not going to be 100%. I mean, even if we see Kyler Murray start the season in September and it's, 10 months away from now, he's not going to be the same Kyler Murray. So he's going to have to deal with some of those mental gymnastics as he gets back going. If he does get in training camp, late OTAs to go, I got to adjust my style of play. And that's the real moment where I think you see players cry when they're going off the field because they're going, wait, my body failed me. Wait. Oh, my gosh, am I going to have a long road to recovery? Oh, my gosh, am I going to be the same? And you think about all the things you got to fight through, and that's where I always feel for a player after a big injury like that.
You're immediately staring at a fairly major surgical procedure, and you don't know how it's going to leave you on the other end.
Right.
We hear all the time, the surgery was a success. They always say it was a success until it wasn't a success, until there's an infection that create, Tom Brady had an infection after he had his ACL surgery in 2008 because the doctor decided he was going to repair the MCL on the way out the door. At least that's what they attributed it to at the time. But You have all sorts of things that can happen, and the rehab is grueling, and there's no guarantee that you're going to be the guy that you've always been. You've taken for granted that this is the guy. This is my superpower. I am an elite athlete. I can outrun and run circles around anyone, and now I can't for X numbers of months of my life, and who knows if I'll ever be that guy again. And Chris, I know how I would be feeling, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all. I just know that I try not to live too much of my life in regret. I try to always look forward and never second-guess my decisions because I think that's wasted energy, except to the extent that you can learn from it when you're confronted with similar situations in the future. But my point is this. If I'm Kyler Murray, at some point this week, I'm thinking, man, if I just would have played baseball, this wouldn't have happened to me. That's at least going to flutter through my brain. And it's probably accurate. How many guys tear their ACLs playing baseball? I don't follow baseball closely enough to even know.
No, it's not many.
But that's a football injury.
Right.
That's the cutting and the usually it's the application of another body to your leg that
getting stuck
twists
under
it
somebody.
up and breaks it.
Right.
But we see it happen. We see it happen this way all the time. So he's got a lot to process, and I feel bad for the kid. The one area I feel good for him, though, and this is a double-edged sword because it doesn't help the team when you've got this gigantic guarantee. But remember, there were the reports going into the season, and the reports were out there because his agent was basically telling people this guy's not playing for what he's due to make this year in the fourth year of his rookie contract. He's just not going to play for that. So he gets his contract. He gets his security. That's the one very thick and bright and glowing silver lining in all of this. He was protected against it the best way possible. Not with an insurance policy. You got to chase the insurance company around to try to get your money. No. It's already taken care of. You've already got it. You can focus on getting yourself healthy, Kyler Murray, because financially you are fully and completely taken care of. And that is the best news in all of this for him.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, he should be the poster child for, superstar, and this is why you don't play until you get the guaranteed contract or the money to protect yourself there. And you could say what we want about him as a player. He's a special talent. Has they delivered? The Cardinals delivered to the extent we thought maybe, with a number one pick and the way things looked like they were going there in Arizona? No, but it's not all him. That's certain. That's for certain. So, I mean, with Kyler Murray, in a lot of ways, this is going to be an uphill struggle, but hopefully he can take it for the positives and become a better football player around it. The one thing it is going to do is, and then where I'm interested to see, when he does get back in the field, because, again, smaller quarterback. What have we talked about the issues with Kyler Murray going back to the playoffs and other big games where we just go, he plays small in big games. Defenses are a little bit better. Those playoff caliber defenses, a little tweak to the game plan. They keep him in the pocket that way, and he struggled. Maybe this is something that, forces him to be better in the pocket. He's not going to be able to, press a button and go gadget, afterburners anymore here when he first gets back on the field. So, hopefully he can take this and it can make him a more complete quarterback in some ways, and we'll see where it goes. But you're right, Mike. Good thing he got that contract, that money. I don't think if he played baseball, he'd have $189 million guaranteed yet. So maybe that's a positive thing he could tell himself for now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.